Hello, gang. So we're going to continue on with lesson 1.2 today. Like I said before, there's quite a bit in this lesson, so I'm breaking down and chunking it a little bit. Remember, we're reading, writing, and representing whole numbers through 100 millions. What we've done in our last lesson was looked at the value of a number. So we were able to complete that on our Jamboards. And let's see, let me go one more. So we looked at the value of the underlying digits. This is what we did in the previous lesson. So what we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to work on word form. And remember, I said that it was really important to know how to read a number, because when you do word form, you write it like you say it. Okay, so that's why we've been practicing saying different numbers, and I've been having you practice saying them in class. So let's just take a look. I have my place value chart in front of us here, and I put a couple of example numbers on here to help us out a little bit and practice with our saying these numbers correctly. So if we look at the first one here, this one, remember that you're breaking it down. So for example, for this first number here, remember when you have this first comma, that says 1,000. So when you get to that comma, you say the word 1,000. If you have a comma like in the second number right here, there you're going to say million. Okay? Otherwise, you know how to read these numbers. So if you break it down each part at a time, so let's look at the thousands period here. You already know how to say this number. Then we just have to add that 1,000, the word 1,000 after it when you come to the comma. So you say this, 423,827. Okay? Once again, that's 423,827. Okay? You notice I didn't say any ands in there. Okay? And then when I got to the comma, I said 1,000. Let's try this one. Hopefully you're starting to pick this up from the last few lessons we've had. So in the first one, it would be 6,750,110. Okay? If you want to try to pause the video and say this large number, go ahead and try it and then come back and see if you're correct. 259,227,380. Okay? So hopefully that was a little bit of a review of how to say those larger numbers. Now today, what we're going to do is we're going to transform this, and we're going to do this in word form. Okay? So I've included on your assignment for today in Google Classroom, I've included a bookmark for you. Okay, so here's the lesson for today, and right here it says math bookmarks. If you go ahead and you open that up, and if you have a printer at home and you would want to print this out and then you can cut them and paste them back to back, that's great. But what I have here are the words in word form, because I know sometimes they can be tricky to spell. So check them out. You can go ahead on there and look at that for help if you need it. Okay, let me get back to our thing here. So let's try some of these in word form now. So we know how to read it in standard form. Now we need to connect it and make it word form. So the first part was 423,000. Not 100. 100. 23. thousand 827. Okay, so that first one, this is how you would do that first one. Now, if it would stop moving, stop. Okay. Now, if we take a look at this one, what I wanted to show you is, you notice how in this number you have a hyphen? Okay, so I just wanted to go through that so you know when to put hyphens. So let me just create a page here. So you guys know that when you have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, those are all one word, so you do not need to put a hyphen in those. But then when you get from 21 to 29, so from 21 to 29, you're going to end up having hyphens between them. 21, 22, oops, 23, and so on, all the way up to 29. Okay? Okay, stop shrinking. So then the number 30, well, that is just one word. So you don't need a hyphen in that. Move this over. Okay. So then that means from 31 to 39, you're going to have a hyphen between those numbers. Then 40 is one word, so you don't need that one. So then it's 41 to 49. 50 is one word, so you don't need a hyphen. But from 51 to 59, you would need a hyphen. 60, you don't need one because it's one word, but 61 to 69. 70, you don't, but 71 through 79, you will need a hyphen. 80, you don't. 81 through 89, you would need a hyphen. Number 90, you don't, because once again, it's one word, but you will from 91 to 99. Okay, so that's when you need a hyphen between 21 to 29, 31 to 39, 41 to 49, 51 to 59, 61 to 69, 71 to 79, 81 to 89, 91 to 99. And now you're probably asking, what about the number 100 or thousands? You do not need a hyphen in those because once again, it's one word. Okay, with some practice, you'll pick that up. Okay, let me go back to so this was the first one that we did. If you notice, gang, when I did the first part of this, I did 423,000. So I did 420, here's my hyphen, in 23,000. And after I say the word thousand, that is where your comma is in the number. So that is exactly where you place it within your word form number. Okay? And then 827. Once again, you have 27, so there's your hyphen between those two numbers. All right? All right, let me get rid of some of this. So we can move on and try the next one. Let me see if I can make this smaller. And I'll move it up here. All right, so let's take a look at the next number that I created here. So we have 6 million. Let me type this. Let me pick a different color so you can see it a little bit better. Let me do the red. 6. So we're going to do this now in word form. 6 million. There's where your comma goes. Okay, just like it would in the number, in the standard form. Read the second part. 750,000. 750,000. And there's your comma. And now look there, I didn't have any hyphens in there because it was 50. Remember, 50 doesn't get a hyphen. And then your last part was 110. Okay. That's smaller. Move it up here so you can see it. Okay, so there you have your standard form, and then here is your word form. Okay, let's do the last one. This is a big one, so let's see how we do on this one. Okay, remember, if you're stuck on this, just break it down. If you break it down, it will make it a lot simpler. Okay, so we have 259 million. 250. Now it's 59. So do I need a hyphen? I sure do. 59 million, comma. The next part of it is 227,000. 227. Yes, it needs a hyphen. 1,000, comma. 380. Okay. So in that last one, it was 80, so I didn't need a hyphen in that part. Okay, hopefully it's starting to connect for you here. Remember, you write it like you say it. So as long as you know how to read that number in standard form, you should be able to write it in word form. And when I look at these on your papers, gang, I will not be looking at whether you have them spelled correctly, even though I did give you, the bookmark to help you with your spelling. But if you have something spelled incorrectly, that's not a huge deal as long as I can read it and understand it. What I am looking for, though, is those hyphens, making sure that you have the correct period, either million or thousand, and your commas. That's really important. Those things are really important, okay? So now that we've looked at that, let's go back to this first page at the bottom. They gave us a number that was in standard form here. So it would be 582,030. So let's look at the word form. 582. So here we'll be putting 1,000, comma, and then it'll be 30. Oops. Shrink it a little. And they already had the comma in there for me, but I put it back in anyway. That's okay. All right, so I wanted to go back and fill that one in on the very first page, page 11. Okay, so now let's take a look at this bottom part. It says the average distance from Jupiter to the Sun is 483,600,000 miles. So they want us to write the number that shows this distance in miles. So here again, what you're doing is you're taking your word form and you're putting it back into standard form. Okay, and that's where you have to be careful sometimes too, because I know a lot of times when kiddos do this, this is where they forget that there are 3 digits in each of those, in each of the periods. So in the ones period, thousands period, and the millions, there are all 3 digits. So make sure that you have 3 in each one. Okay, and since we're at 483 million. Okay, so if I go back and look at this chart over here, so I know if I have 483 million, let me type it. I might have to pull it up to the bottom here. Let me see if I can just write it. 483 million. and then it was 600,000. So we have 600, put our comma, 1,000. A lot of kids will leave it like this, but that's not correct because what did you forget? That's right, you forgot this ones period here. So you have to add 3 zeros as placeholders so that the number is correct. Okay, so let me go back and let's put this number over here. Now here's a little trick what you can do to help you so that you know that you don't miss any of those periods. So since we have a number in the millions and it's the 100 millions, you can put 3 spaces and then your comma, and then you need to put your thousands period, so you need 3 spaces and your comma. And then don't forget, you also need your ones period. So you can go ahead and put your 3 places for that. Then you just have to go back and fill in the digits on each of those spaces and make sure that you have zeros where they need to be. All right, so it was 483 million. So we have our 483 million, 600,000, and since it's just 1,000, you have to add your zeros there. Okay? So I think it's a little trickier actually going backwards and going from word form to standard form. Once you have all of those spots laid out, it does make it a little bit easier. All right, let's move on to and here I have the word form numbers again, actually. I had some room there, so I stuck it in there. Let me move over to, this is page 13. Okay, I believe this was page 3 of your Jamboard. And remember, you guys already did this top part up here it's on a different Jamboard. I actually created a new Jamboard so that it was a fresh page and you can see on it. So if we look here at number 7, gang, let me do that a little bit like that. All right. So once again, here we're writing this in standard form and they already have it in word form. So let's take a look. We have one that's in the millions place, 7 million. Okay, so you're going to do your 1 spot for the million because that's your unit and your comma. And then you know that you have to have 3 dashes there because it's in every period has 3. Now this one right now it doesn't have 3 when I said 7 million because does this number have 10 millions and 100 millions in it? No, it doesn't. It just has millions. It just has that unit. That's why this one only has 1 because it's at the front of the number. All right. And then you know you need 3 for the ones period. So now let's go back and let's fill in those blanks. We have 7 million, 20,000. Now be careful. It says 20,000. If I would put my 2 here, would this give me 20,000? It wouldn't, would it? That would be 200,000. So in order to make 20,000, we'd have to put the 2 here. But what has to go here? Can I leave it blank? Absolutely not. You need to have a 0 in there to hold the place. So 7,020,000, and the same thing here. It says 32. If I put my 3 here and my 2 here, is this 32? Not really, because remember, this right here would be a 0, so it makes it 320. So in order to make 32, we would have to put it here. And then you go back and place your 0. Now when you look at that, you have your 7,020,032. Okay, those can get really tricky. I'm glad they gave you this one just because of the zeros in there. So they are tricky, so you have to be careful. That's why I recommend either look at a place value chart and use a place value chart, or draw yourself dashes. to help you. We're going to bump down to number 12 and 13. We're going to write these guys in word form. So remember, write it like you say it, write it like you say it, write it like you say it. You're going to hear me say that a lot in class. Write it like you say it. Okay? 345,000. Remember, 45 gets the hyphen. Now, if it's 345,000, do I need the comma at the end there? You don't. You don't actually need the comma there. Let me make that smaller so I can fit it. It's just 345,000 because there wasn't anything in that ones period. Okay, let's move on to 13. I want you to see if you can pause your video. Go ahead and try that one and see if you can do it in word form. Okay, hopefully you tried it. Let me put myself a new one. So let me move it so I can see it. There we go. 119 million. Be careful with that one. 3. Wow, look at that one. So even though that was a number in the millions and you probably thought, wow, this is going to take me forever to write. Okay, stop shrinking. Okay, okay, there we go. Move over, move over. There we go. All right, so 119,000,003. Cool? All right, what I would like you to try for your homework, this will be page 5 on your Jamboard, and it is page 15 in your book, in your math book. We did up to number 8. It says to write the numbers in 2 other forms. You're just going to do it in word form because I haven't taught you expanded form. We'll tackle expanded form tomorrow. So I want you to try on your homework page 9, 10, and 11. So let me circle these guys. Once again, it's number 9, number 10, and number 11. I want you to try those on your own. When you're finished, you can go ahead and turn it in to me. Also, there is an exit ticket. I know it doesn't say exit ticket, but it says Google Forms right here on your assignment for today. I also listed your page numbers, your classwork pages. These are the pages we did in class. And you are responsible for your homework, page 15 or 5 on your Jamboard. Number 9 to 11, you have 3 problems. And then you have a word form exit ticket, which looks like this. Nope. I already responded so I could see my answer, so I can't show you, so it's not up. So if you click on it, there's, I think, 3 problems that you have to do in word form, and then you can go ahead and submit that. Do you have any questions for today? Please let me know. Have a good one.